Middle-class family living in the futuristic Orbit City, where all commercial and residential buildings are built on columns, allowing homes to be built up high in the sky. The Jetsons depicted the golden age of American futurism, where men have to work an hour a day, twice a week, women have robots for domestic help, and yet everyone complains of exhaustion and overburdening. The Jetsons also introduced to audiences everything their mind could conceive as part of the future: aerocars, jetpacks, robot maids, and moving sidewalks. Needless to say, it was quite easy to fall for the utopia the show created, a very essential role in influencing the American audience's expectations of the future. So today, let us travel back to Orbit City. Facts Verse presents This Is Why the Jetsons was canceled. 10 facts. Before we reveal these facts, take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to allow us to keep you entertained every day with more videos. George O'Hanlon wasn't the first choice for the voice of George Jetson. All Jetsons fans now know that George O'Hanlon was the voice of George Jetson on the show, and Penny Singleton lent her voice to the character of Jane Jetson, George's wife. However, these voice roles were first offered to Maury Amsterdam and Pat Carroll. Pat Carroll later became famous as the voice of Ursula in Little Mermaid. The two even signed a contract with Hanna-Barbera Productions. However, at the time, Maury Amsterdam was on The Dick Van Dyke Show, and Pat Carroll was starring on The Danny Thomas Show. So to minimize any sponsor conflicts, the creators and producers of the show decided to extend an offer to George O'Hanlon and Penny Singleton, who readily accepted. This led to conflict, with Pat Carroll and Maury Amsterdam suing the Hanna-Barbera Productions for breach of contract. According to Carroll, their contract with the production house promised they would each be given $500 per episode, and thus sued the production house for $12,000. In 2013, in an interview, Carroll revealed the court ruled in favor of Hanna-Barbera Productions. Southern California inspired the show's Googie architecture. In the 1940s, Googie architecture, which is a kind of futuristic architecture, emerged as the hottest architectural trend of the decade, and Southern California was quick to embrace it. When the show's creators began working on the show's concept, they were inspired by the Googie architecture around Hanna-Barbera's office. They took particular inspiration from Johnny's Coffee Shop, the Downey, California McDonald's, Norm's Restaurants, and LAX theme building while creating the Orbit City. Before we tell you our next interesting fact about the Jetsons, we want to remind you to like and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated about all our latest videos. The audiences developed an instant liking to the show's theme song. Hoyt Curtin, the then primary music composer at Hanna-Barbera Animation Studio, created the theme song to the Jetsons. The song first made an appearance on television's Greatest Hits, Volume 1, and became an instant hit. It was re-recorded in 1986 and sent to various radio stations. The theme song once again quickly gained popularity, eventually settling itself for the 9th spot on the Billboard charts. A video reel from the Jetsons accompanied the theme song whenever it played on MTV. The theme song enjoys immense popularity to this day. The Jetsons predicted certain things about the future correctly. George Jetson used an aerocar to commute to his office, and while we haven't yet made spaceships for regular travel, there has certainly been some progress in other areas. In 2015, Terrafugia got approval from the Federal Aviation Administration to test its TFX, a car that can transform itself into an airplane. Currently, Aeromobile also produces cars that change into planes. Similarly, Mahler is also working on Skycar 200, a very similar concept. However, none of these companies has revealed the prices of these futuristic cars, but it's safe to say these cars won't be affordable anytime soon. Yet another thing the show predicted, and that is being worked on, is space travel. Virgin Galactic, a partnership between a British conglomerate and Virgin Group, has been working on creating subordinate space flights for space travel. It's now possible to go to space for $250,000. Tesla is also working on launching rockets that will take people to other planets. The Jetsons also predicted the tanning bed. From the very beginning, physicians have recommended sun care as a treatment to several health conditions. However, the tanning equipment available in the early 20th century emitted high UVB, which often led to skin burns. In the mid-70s, Friedrich Wolf, a German scientist, created a tanning bed that used 95% UVA and 5% UVB, thereby solving the problem of tanning devices-induced burns. His creation led to the opening of the first tanning salon in Berlin, Germany in 1977, and by 1978, the tanning bed created by Wolf had also made an appearance in America. Thus, when the Jetsons showed tanning beds, they were only predicting the future. Similarly, the Jetsons also correctly predicted flat-screen televisions and robot vacuums. However, moving sidewalks existed before the Jetsons. Various characters on the Jetsons were seen crossing moving walkways often. However, moving walkways were not a new or innovative concept that the 60s can take credit for. Moving sidewalks was an idea developed and patented by winemaker and inventor Alfred Speer in 1871. In 1958, Dallas Love Field became the first airport to adopt the idea invented by Speer. The creators of the Jetsons got the idea of moving sidewalks from Dallas's Love Field Airport. Forbes values Spacely Space Sprockets at $1.3 billion in 2007. In 2007, Forbes did a very interesting piece on the current worth of 25 fictional companies shown in films and TV shows. Spacely Space Sprockets, the company where George Jetson worked, held the 25th spot on the list. According to Forbes, in 2007, George's company was worth $1.3 billion. Though the employees at the company had to do only 3-hour shifts, 3 days a week, they had to endure never-ending termination threats from their boss, Mr. Spacely. The show was taken off the air because there weren't enough colored televisions in America back then. The Jetsons was the first show to be broadcast in color on ABC, and this turned out to be a problem. Back in 1962, only 3% of all Americans had color TV. Even those who had color TV didn't necessarily have access to the colored version of the Jetsons. The show was taken off the air not because of declining ratings or diminishing audiences, but because there weren't enough colored televisions in America back then. According to Kanye West, he was going to be the creative director of the Jetsons movie. On March 18, 2003, Paramount Pictures announced they were working on the script of a Jetsons movie, and Adam Shankman would be directing the film. In May 2006, another announcement was made that Adam F. Goldenberg would be joining the team as a screenwriter, and Donald DeLine and DeNovi would be producing the film. In 2007, the then director of the planned movie started negotiations with Warner Brothers and Universal Studios for a CGI adaptation of the film. And then in 2012, Kanye West took to Twitter to tell the world how he was in talks to become the creative director of the film. Producer Denise DeNovi later cleared that there was never a call with Kanye regarding him becoming the creative director. We might see a new animated film or sitcom soon. Since 2001, different studios have been trying to get a live-action Jetsons movie out. In 2003, it was declared a Jetsons project with Adam Shankman was in the pipeline. However, nothing came of it. Next, Robert Rodriguez came into the picture. In 2012, it was announced that Evan Susser and Van Robichaux would be working on the project. In 2015, an announcement was made which said that writer Matt Lieberman was working on a new Jetsons movie that would not be a live-action film, but an animated one, and would be directed by Conrad Vernon. In 2017, ABC also announced they will be creating a sitcom version of the show. Unfortunately, even after all these announcements, audiences are still waiting. The Jetsons was quite ahead of its time, and the show has gathered more followers after going off the air than it had while still in production. Have you seen the Jetsons? Are you a fan? Is there any other interesting fact you'd like to see added to this list? Please let us know through the comments section. Before you move on to the next Facts Verse video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated about all our latest videos.